welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Ben, aka Notions, and thanks for joining me today. Sorry about the light, it's starting to get dark here in England quite early today, and this is a dark room anyway, so I do apologise for the lack of light right now. But yeah, someone asked me to make a video about my time or experiences, or both probably, regarding my use of Zopiclone, which is a mild to moderate strength sleeping tablet here in the United Kingdom. And the standard dose of Zopiclone is 7.5 milligram a night to be taken roughly half an hour before you want to go to sleep, because obviously it takes about half an hour to start working, although it will start working much sooner than this if you're prepared to chew it up and suffer even more severe tasting metal mouth, as people like to refer to the taste of the Zopiclone as. But yeah, I have been on and off Zopiclone, mainly on Zopiclone, all the way back to 2004 when I was 20 years old. So, yeah, 16 years ago, or it'll be 17 years ago this year. And yeah, it's such a long time ago that I can't remember which month I actually was first prescribed Zopiclone and other, well, lorazepam is the other thing I was prescribed of any significance other than, I think it was aripiprazole, Abilify, antipsychotic. Started on 5 milligrams, or 15 milligrams. I think it was 5 milligrams 3 times daily, and I was eventually up to the highest dose of aripiprazole, which is 30 milligrams. And back then, it was a very new antipsychotic drug for people who suffer or suffered psychosis. And now my psychosis has been diagnosed as paranoid schizophrenia, and this occurred, well, I mean, what they say I've got now changed a couple of years, well, more than a couple of years ago, 6 or 7, 8, 9, 10 years ago now. But yeah, I'll get back to the point. This video is intended to be about Zopiclone sleeping tablet, sometimes known as a Z-Drug or sedative-hypnotic medication with a withdrawal symptom which resembles that of a physical dependency, and you can suffer withdrawal symptoms such as migraines or long-lasting headaches. Obviously, insomnia is the biggest withdrawal symptom, but in high doses, like a friend of mine used to take a whole packet a day, and yes, it sounds crazy, but it's no word of a lie. She is off them now, though, I think, but no solid proof that she is telling the truth in this. And if you have a physical addiction to Zopiclone, then it can be very difficult to stop it, as all the withdrawal symptoms can lead to people being extremely stressed out, foul mooded people as well, and generally things that are not nice can happen to you. And sleep deprivation itself used to be, many, many years ago, used as a form of actual torture, and people had to undergo sleep deprivation as a form of punishment to make them suffer in a slightly different way to orthodox. But I would imagine it would work extremely well as a punishment, because it's awful. Can't think, and constant headache, which is actually a migraine, and just feeling like absolute crap all day. And yeah, sorry I haven't said anything yet, but hi Pete, and hi to the other person who just said hi back to me, or hello, or yeah, a greeting. So yeah, hope you're both having a nice day to each of you. And yeah, back to the Zopiclone. Uh, they did try and take me off Zopiclone. Well, in just 2 days, when I was sectioned for 7, 8, 9 months. Yeah, I've heard of Valerian, mate, but I have never tried it. But I do find that natural things, like when I use this, like a lot of cannabis, which is obviously natural, well, it's a plant, and things like this work so much better than pharmaceutical drugs, which are more addictive. You had your eyes rolling back in your head, did you? That's called ocular gyrate crisis, which is a side effect from antipsychotic use. I used to suffer from ocular gyrate crisis as well, which is what it sounds like you have, where your eyes roll back in your head and you look up all the time, and even when you try your hardest, you can't look anywhere apart from up, and it is extremely weird. Because if I was stuck out in the centre of town when this happened numerous times, probably upwards of 5 times on my own, and I had to use my sense of touch to find my way home. It's like to actually feel where walls were and alleyways. I used to go down the shortcuts to avoid using roads because I used to prefer being away from traffic, because obviously if I can't see down or level, I can't see where or when traffic is coming towards me, and obviously I would probably get run over, or people would be blasting their horns or probably swearing at me, not knowing what the heck I am playing at, and think I'm off my head on heroin due to the eyes being rolled back, which was not the case at all. So yeah, back to the Zopiclone use. My GP, I should say, who is my main general doctor. GP in England stands for general practitioner, but I'm sure everyone or most people will know this by now. So the doctor you see if you have a rash or some insomnia, anxiety, or something, before seeing a psychiatrist. That is, and yeah, I get 14 days worth of Zopiclone on each prescription, but she said at first to take one a day, but only 3 days a week. So I have the remaining 4 days a week off the Zopiclone to try and reduce my tolerance to the substance slash drug, or slash medication, whatever you want to call it. And once it was called habit forming by a drug company, I can't remember the name of it, and don't want to name all of them. There's only three I can think of off the top of my head anyway, but actually more than three companies manufacture Zopiclone in the whole world, but probably three in England or the UK. And yeah, Zopiclone still helps me sleep every night, even though people say you gain a huge tolerance to the drug in a week, and on the eighth day, so a week and 1 day, you'll find that the Zopiclone simply doesn't work any longer, and well, we'll need something else to help you sleep. Probably cannabis would do the job very nicely, but yeah, it's illegal in the UK, and if you have previous convictions for things drug-related offences, then you can actually get into quite a lot of trouble for possession if it's quite a large amount. But I haven't been in trouble. I've been warnings and cautions for possession of cannabis, and never been caught with possession of anything else. And yeah, so I'm all fine really. I've only had a caution for shoplifting. That's a very serious thing, and I broke a male nurse's back in hospital. But I, he, well, I could have got in trouble for assault, GBH, I think the police said. But I signed a bit of paper to confirm that I accepted the written caution and not to do it ever again. And I didn't mean to do it. I was actually suffering a psychotic episode from using too much whiz amphetamine base, which I bombed by having the base inside a Rizzler and then just swallowing the Rizzler with the base inside using water or orange like squash or whatever I could grab off my mates, whatever they had at the time, sometimes cans, sometimes a bit of beer or cider, whatever really. Doesn't matter, I don't know what I'm talking about this crap. But yeah, Zopiclone, yeah, it does work for sleep if you are not used to benzos and not used to Sedative-Hypnotuc Z-Drug, such as the only other one I can think of right now is Zopiclone in this country. How did I break his back? Basically, he was pinning me down on the floor with three other people, and I managed to flip him over so he did a backward somersault using my legs and basically my feet and my legs, lower legs are quite strong from how far I used to ride my push bike years and years ago now. So I managed to flip the poor guy right over, and I think the whiz gave me some extra strength as well. So yeah, and he had a broken back because of it. I got off very lightly. I could easily have ended up going to court over that and charged, but yeah, I got away with it due to my mental health. And once I shoplifted with a woman. She took 76 quid's worth of meat, hence the caution for shoplifting. But the woman is a prolific thief and reoffender in the town I used to live in. Very, very, very well known to the police. And she decided to stop when we had taken the meat and try and sell it to a man who was standing in the back of his lorry. And obviously, I was saying, don't do this. He's going to dob us in. And she did it. She gave him the meat, and he said he was going to give him the money. But yeah, said, this stuff's from co-op, isn't it? And I'm going to call the police. And then she made up some story about my dad being in hospital in his last legs and things like that. So in the end, she still managed to blag £3.50 off him, which is far from the amount she needed to get a 20 stone of white. But yeah, pretended she needed to get the bus to hospital to see my dad, who was on his last legs. It's all a lie, obviously. My dad's in good health. So is my mum at the moment anyway. But yeah, Zopiclone, I don't really recommend going on it long term, but short term use of the drug, just not every day if you can help it. And I don't recommend everyday use of Zopiclone at all due to the addiction you could face and also the effect not actually occurring or being there just after a week, maybe 2 weeks if you're very lucky. But yeah, I would try Phenergan, which is now over-the-counter antihistamine drug meant for things like hay fever, also motion sickness. But yeah, the side effects can be said to be drowsiness, and I used to take one or two of these, sometimes three or four, if I still couldn't sleep, and it would knock me out. I think they're blue, quite big blue tablets. I think they're 50 milligrams each, and the generic name for Phenergan is promethazine or promethazine, depending on where you are from in the world or in the United Kingdom. So yeah, I'll leave this video now because it's nearly 15 minutes long due to rambling on about random off-topic things. So yeah, please subscribe to my channel and give me a like, a thumbs up if you've enjoyed watching or hearing this video, and whatever really, just please share this video on social media if you be so kind, and I thought promethazine once was used as an antipsychotic, so I'm quite surprised it caused your schizophrenia. Sorry, triggered your schizophrenia. I shouldn't have said caused, because drugs trigger things, not cause them. Yeah, it is true, mate. Side effects happen with all pharmaceutical substances, but it is a big shame. Yeah, I haven't tried Zolpidem, but I will do one day, I'm sure. But my GP won't prescribe me it because of its abuse potential recreational abuse potential compared to that of what I'm on about, i.e. Zopiclone. So yeah, I'll end this video now as it's coming up to 16 minutes long now. So yeah, thanks very much for watching, everybody. Please keep following me if you're doing so already, and I will be making more videos shortly. So keep tuned. Cheers. Bye all. Cheers.